Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and we're going to be showing off some of the stuff that I got for Black Friday this year. So, I am a GameStop employee, so that discount definitely helped the fact that I was able to get some of these games. But there were a few other things that I was able to get when GameStop didn't have it, and I think I did that on Amazon. I don't think I went on any other site besides for GameStops or Amazon. So, yeah, I survived Black Friday. My first Black Friday in retail was insane, to say the least. Luckily, it went pretty well. My sales numbers were pretty high at the same time, so that's something to be happy about. Not sure if I'm going to be at GameStop next year, if I'm going to be able to fit it in with my college schedule, but if it is, at least now I know what to expect, especially if I'm going to be doing retail in general. So anyway, guys, let's get into looking at what I got. So we're going to start off showing off the big thing that I got for Black Friday this year, and this was the day after Black Friday. This PS5 All Digital Edition got traded into our store, and it came off a trade hold on the Saturday, so directly after Black Friday. This one isn't actually going to be for me. This one I secured for my friend because he got sick and couldn't really do it himself. He originally told me don't worry about getting him it, but I figured, you know what, I might as well do it and then wait for him to pay me back over time at some other point. I basically told him I'll hold on to it until he can actually pay it, so I knew he was eventually going to want to get it. The main problem was that Sony just wasn't stocking digital editions in the store. They were only doing the physical one, and he wanted the digital one, so I figured, you know what, there's probably not going to be an easy opportunity for a long time. I might as well do this for him, and when he wants it 100%, that's when he'll pay me and I'll give it to him. So, very happy that I got my hands on the PS5 again. This is actually my first time technically getting the hands on it myself, where with my PS5, my friend got his hands on it for me. So we both kind of helped each other get a PS5, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, let's look at the next thing. So this next thing actually was more shocking to me than getting my hands on a PS5, and that was getting my hands on Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, both being legitimate copies. These came off a trade hold at my GameStop as well. My coworker, I should say, was like, hey, do you want one of these? And I'm like, screw it, I'll buy the pair. If they don't happen to be legitimate, I'll trade them back in because, GameStop has to take them back if they were fake, and then basically put it in as defective and send them to the warehouse if they are fake cartridges. So, basically, I got them just in case, and I validated them. As it turns out, these are both legitimate copies of the game. They actually play with my Pokewalker. Yes, I have a Pokewalker. That was the main test I did on it because it has the IR sensor on there, and it worked perfectly with it. I did all the tests that basically I looked up on the internet and how to do it. My friend also knows how to validate them, and he looked at them, and yeah, they both ended up being legit, and that is really cool because together, I got these both for $80 thanks to my discount with GameStop. I think we sold them for like $60 a piece. I used some of my points. I redeemed them for a few coupons, and then my discount also had some of that come off. So it was around like $85, $86 for the pair, which is insane considering that usually the pair goes for around $200. So I really hit a major deal this time around. I think I got this one 2 days before Black Friday, so this was right before the deals, and this was probably the best deal that I got out of the entire Black Friday. So yeah, really cool. Let's look at some more stuff. So as a lot of you guys know, I am a die-hard Guitar Hero fan, which means that Clone Hero has been taking a lot of my time over the past few years, and over the past few months, I've had a lot of enjoyment playing the game, not only on the standard guitar controller, but on keyboard. There's a major community that plays the game on keyboard, and I kind of wanted to get myself in on that action, so I've been playing the game on my Black Widow V2 keyboard for a while, but it hasn't been ideal since I'm not that big of a fan of the yellow switches. I feel held back by the thing because it doesn't have that good of a rebound, and it doesn't bounce as well, so I feel like I'm not hitting notes as fast. So I kind of went on a keyboard spending spree and went through a few keyboards that honestly weren't any better than my V2 Black Widow, and so the first one I went for was the Huntsman Mini. It didn't have a good enough scan rate, which meant that it wasn't picking up on all of my inputs. Even though the keyboard wasn't a 1000 hertz keyboard, it wasn't picking up on all my inputs, which was causing me to not be able to hit my full potential on the keyboard. So right after that, my friend recommended me Corsair, and since I wanted a 60% keyboard specifically for rhythm games, he recommended me this. As it turns out, it wasn't ideal either. The scan rate on at least the single keys weren't so great. I found a loophole to where I can not only have the notes be on the first set of keys, but I can also do a secondary mapping for another key. So that made it to where it was able to kind of improve how many notes I was able to hit. But even then, it had a speed limit for what I was able to hit. So that keyboard actually held me back. I decided not to return this one, though. I figured I'd use it as a secondary keyboard for my Dell Optiplex PC, my budget PC that I made a video on a very long time ago. So this keyboard actually is being used. I'm not going to be returning it. I actually eventually found a keyboard that would be perfect for me. I really am a big fan of the red switches. Like I said before, I wasn't a fan of the yellows. I really wanted something with red switches, and the last one that I got was one that my friend recommended me that he had, and that was the Corsair K63. So I just started using this one today as the recording of this video, and it really is an amazing keyboard. I'm still getting used to how high the action is on the actual keys. It is a bit higher. The keys just sit a bit higher than any of the other keyboards I used, including the K65 Mini, but it is a really good feeling keyboard. It is actually my main keyboard now, where I think my Black Widow is kind of going to be a secondary. Not really 100% sure how that's going to go. I haven't really tried using the keyboard for general use yet, as in typing. So if it ends up being that I like the other one for casual use, I'll go back to the V2 as my main one, and I'll simply just use the Corsair as my gaming keyboard. So yeah, I have a lot of keyboards, to say the least, and that's basically my story with all that. So I went through about 3 different keyboards in the process, and I ended on the Corsair K63, so very happy with it. I think that concludes, honestly, me looking for keyboards, because this one is pretty nice. So yeah, now that I've gone on a complete tangent about keyboards, let's actually start looking at some games. So next up, we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So I didn't see any gameplay of this. I didn't see any reviews, so I really don't know how this plays, other than the fact that the name is Brawl. So judging by the title and judging by the look on the back, it kind of looks like a Smash Bros. Kind of game, but this time with just Nickelodeon characters. So I grew up watching Nick. I watched the cartoons. I watched a lot of the sitcoms. I pretty much stopped watching Nick in general probably right after Sam and Cat ended. I think it was like when the Thundermans and Henry Danger started that I pretty much just stopped watching TV in general. So basically, I don't know a lot of the characters on the back of this game. There's a lot of them. I can spot a few of them that I recognize from my childhood. And then just the rest of them are complete unknown to me. So not sure what I'm going, not really expecting much out of this game, but I did want to get it anyway because, I mean, I grew up with SpongeBob and everything, and I just wanted to get a game that was kind of like Smash Bros. I mean, this looks like probably something I can play with my little sister. She still watches this channel all the time, so she'll probably have a lot of fun with it, especially because she doesn't really play any video games. I think this will be just a fun one for us to mess around with, rather than it not having a major difficulty curve. So, yeah, looks pretty interesting. I definitely want to try this one out. Next, we have a sequel to a game that I haven't played yet. So I started Yakuza Like a Dragon. I am really into the game. I think the story is incredible. So one of my coworkers at GameStop recommended that I gave Judgment a shot. So I ended up getting the game. I haven't sat down to play the game at all. This game was on sale on Black Friday, so I figured I'd pick it up just because of how cheap it was. So now I have Judgment and Lost Judgment. I haven't played either of the games, so I don't really know what to expect from them whatsoever, especially because I really haven't played any of the other Yakuza games either, so I don't really know what to expect from the Judgment franchise. I'm definitely going to play the first one, and then I'm going to jump on this one right after, but yeah, I kind of just got this game because it was on sale, and I figured I'd add it to my collection, so pretty cool. I forgot to mention, I also got the Steelbook with it as well. It looks really cool. I'm probably not going to put the disc in here. I'm probably just going to display this on my wall. Alright, so before I get to looking at the last game, I'm just going to explain that I also bought Far Cry 6, and it still hasn't come in the mail yet, an entire week later, and I figured I wouldn't wait to make this video since it doesn't even say that it was shipped yet for some reason. Don't know what's going on with that. Bought that on GameStop's website. I have no control over what they do, so a little confused in that regard, but it's honestly not a big deal. I'm not in a rush to play Far Cry 6 anyway. I just got it because it was on sale. I played Far Cry 4, thought it was pretty cool, and honestly, I'm pretty interested to see how Far Cry 6 is going to be. So that tangent out of the way, let's look at the last game on this list, and that is Deathloop for the PS5, which marks my 10th game on the console. So I'm going to be making a video showcasing that collection soon. This game spiked my interest because I was pretty into Returnal, and this is a similar kind of game, although it is made by Bethesda and it has a different kind of play style. It's really cool from what I've played so far. It's first person. It's one of those first person shooters. Basically, you die and it loops back to the beginning and you just come back to life and keep dying and coming back to life depending on how well you play this game. It's an interesting concept for a game, and I love that there's more games than just Returnal that are doing this idea now. I'd be interested to see if they would make another, some other franchises would be experimenting with this idea as well. It's pretty cool. I think the most interesting to me about this game, though, is that it's made by Bethesda and that it's a PlayStation exclusive, knowing that Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft. So yes, I know Microsoft honored the deal that Bethesda and Sony already had, so that's pretty cool of them. Initially, I thought them doing that was maybe because they knew the game was okay at best, so they're like, yeah, whatever, you guys can have it as an exclusive, but it honestly is a pretty cool game. I'm into it so far. It gave me a headache when I played it because I was just exhausted when I was playing it, but yeah, it is an interesting kind of game, and I'm very interested in basically going further in it. I've started it. I have not gotten far, but it's pretty cool from what I've played so far. So alright guys, that was everything that I got on the Black Friday / Cyber Monday week. This was definitely a unique kind of year because not only did I get some pretty hard to get stuff this time around, on top of that, this was my first Black Friday that I worked during. Technically, I worked Black Friday at Stop and Shop one year, but we didn't have any Black Friday sales, so it didn't really count, but this was my first actual Black Friday in retail under technicality. I mean, I worked double shifts on Friday and the Saturday, and I also worked on a Sunday, so I worked the entire weekend. I jumped between 2 stores on the Friday and the Saturday, and I think I stuck to one on Sunday, but yeah, it was rough, but I got through it, and I'm still continuing to work through Cyber Monday. I think the deals end after this Sunday, so I'm still working through it technically, but I got past the hard part, so very cool to know that I got through that. Had a really good sales week, had a good time doing what I was doing despite the craziness, and on top of that, I got some pretty rare stuff this time around, so, and for good prices. So yeah guys, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you guys got some cool stuff as well, so I will see you all in the next one.